You said for a while, Tiati has been wooed as a top-up.
Yes, exactly.
And this time round, the game has changed.
Yes.
Form ni nipe,
nikupe.
Tuandikishane, nipe, nikupe. What did you mean?
Thank you. At least I have time to explain what I meant.
Yeah.
SK for quite some time, especially after devolution. We may not necessarily talk about before devolution.
Yeah.
That was a very complex system. But after devolution, every community in one way or another should at least gain resource-wise and also even positions of leadership and employment. So what I meant was this. As for now, Tiati people are a worried lot, simply because, let me just give you some statistics. In the first county government by Honorable Cheboy, we had one senior position, a speaker of the county assembly.
That was Mheshimiwa
Kamkit. And at least we felt like, yeah, we belong. Later on, and one, of course, there were the normal, CECs and CEOs, they are like normal.
Yeah.
You give every...
you balance in
every sub-county.
Yeah.
But the other positions like the directors, those are senior positions. During Cheboy's time, we were given one.
One director.
Only one director. But even that was better. During this second term by Honorable Kiptis, we had now a deputy governor, a deputy speaker, who served midway he was impeached. And to show you
that's actually your MCA.
That was my MCA.
A major
yes, and to actually show you that there is a deliberate plan to close us out from Baringo County. What happened is that instead of replacing with an MCA from Tiati, the position was replaced with somebody else from, I think, Mogotio.
Yeah.
And then during Honorable Kipti's tenure, which is almost coming to an end, he employed more than 10 directors. I'm not talking of ECD people and these smaller positions. 10 of them, no one single person from Tiati. And therefore, you don't need a Jewish prophet, SK, to almost predict what may become when the third governor comes in, whom we don't know who. There's a likelihood that we may not even we may not have a deputy speaker's position because we no longer even own it now. And who knows, maybe even the CECs, the 2 CECs will be clipped and we have one. And that is why we are saying, this time round, we also have a right. We belong to this county. There's no other county we are going to. And therefore, any serious candidate, even those that have been there like Cheboy and Keptis, they have to rewrite a contract with us. Why? Because earlier on, there was nothing written. Somebody tells you during campaigns, okay, when I get there, Tiati, I'll give this, only to turn into hot hair. And therefore, any serious candidate should write what they intend to give us in terms of positions and also in resource allocation. I'm sure our MCAs know better what is given to every ward. So it's we should not be taken for granted as if our vote does not matter. And I believe SK, this is the cry of Tiati, but I'm sure even other sub-counties are crying. I'm sure even South Baringo, the Jamus community, and even the Ntorois community, probably they may be sailing the same boat with us. So mambo ya kuandikiana, my friend, itaendelea. And after all, it is not starting with the county. You see, even nationally, the UDA leader, deputy president, is having meetings with people from different regions who come and hear their views and also their desires. If he comes, their interests. Same with Raila, So it is, my friend, it's a dispensation of nipe nikupe. Hakuna maneno ya bure.
I think that term would even, rather that slogan, would resonate even well, because Tiati recently was leading in the new number of registered voters. there was an additional 6,000.
Yes.
Almost 7,000.
Yes.
And from the previous year, I think from 2017, Tiaty had,
I think,
29,000. Yes. So adding 6,000, that goes to 35.
Yeah.
It is already beating Baringo South.
Yes.
And Mogotio.
Yes.
So Tiaty is coming almost third.
Yes.
In terms of the number of votes.
Yes.
So by maybe going back to nipe nikupe, are you looking at getting positions in exchange of, or rather, would you want to be promised positions, or would you want to be guaranteed positions even before 2022 August 30th?
You see, when somebody is already there, he whatever you talked verbally becomes null and void. You have, even if it's not written and taken to the public, but at least for a serious candidate, at least the leadership of Tiaty, okay, those aspiring to be MP, you know, also MCS and all this, we need at least to have a green light of, when you get there, what are you likely to consider us for? Because you see, there are positions which are at the discretion of the governor, all right?
Yeah.
And I tell you, the governor is a very influential person, especially if you get a governor who knows what they are doing. They can actually influence and actually stand as a mediator within the county. You know, he is the boss of the county, and by extension, like a father to everybody within the county. And therefore, if you get somebody who would want to balance and consider ethnic balancing, regional balancing, gender balancing, you know, they will do the right thing. Yeah.
So what positions are you looking at as Tiaty, in your opinion?
And now, if you got me right, first and foremost, those executive positions of CEC and CEO, we almost believe that every sub-county should be given.
Get a share.
But you know, my friend, for Tiaty, you cannot guarantee. The way we have been treated, you cannot guarantee. Even those very positions can be taken away from them. So even those ones should remain and add more if possible. And then now, even the positions of a county secretary, is it a priest of a certain community? Even the people of Tiaty or the people of Viljamus should have it. Why is it that it is only given to one community? Yeah, why?
Well, you were given an opportunity to be a running mate sometimes back.
Yes.
Is that one of the positions you people are looking at as a bargain?
You see, SK, there is no. Okay, let me use it. No, there's no Tugen leader who will want to take a Pokot. Taking a Pokot now is a liability because of the way we have been profiled and branded.
Profiled and branded.
Cat rustlers. So if you contest to be a governor and then you say, I'm taking Reverend Kiuta, the reaction may not be the best. Yeah, I can assure you that.
And when you say you've been profiled and branded, do you think you've been profiled was it by bad intentions, or is it something that actually needs to be sorted out? It
is something that needs to be sorted out, but you know, there's one big mistake in our county, SK. Some people think the cat rustling or banditry in Tiaty is a Tiaty problem. We are a family. We are one body of Baringo. If one hand is suffering, it will affect the rest.
The entire body.
Now you look at Baringo at the moment. Some regions in Tiaty some time ago were gazetted as disturbed. And what does that mean? No tourist comes
to Baringo.
No developer, no donor comes to Baringo. It affects the whole county. And therefore, every leader in Baringo should take upon themselves that this is our responsibility to fix this problem once and for all, than branding a whole community. I told you of Churo. Why can't we, even as the leadership of Baringo, convince the national government that zone Tiaty, Churo people, they are not concerned, I mean, they are not involved in cat rustling. The people of Tangul Bay, they are not. In fact, at Churo now, Churo is demarcated. We are only waiting for title deeds. That's a different place altogether. But now, I think, I may be right or not right. Maybe there are some political leaders who would want that branding to continue, so that when you deny me a position, the obvious excuse and reason is you go and talk to your people, you cattle rustlers, because why are we not keen on solving this problem or providing ways and means that this problem can be solved?
But this thing has been there for quite a long time.
Since
those days when there was a secession of the northern Kenya.
Yes.
And it included parts of Baringo going into Turkana, northeastern region. It's been prolonged for quite a long time. Now that it is coming up, what do you think is the ultimate solution to this cattle rustling issue? Actually,
I mentioned earlier on that disarmament of the mind is the solution, not guns. And how can this be done? Ensuring that you put up schools along that corridor, and particularly boarding schools. Because you may have even seen from drone pictures that the people who are involved in this are very young boys, all right? Take these ones to school. And not only put up schools, you also need to put up facilities, like health facilities around that the schools, sink boreholes around that place, or even, you can even have dams. You can construct dams for these people. Let them also engage in some irrigation. Because SK, the reason why the government is achieving very little. Places like Selale, there are no structures, my friend. Those people have makeshifts.
I've been there. You can hardly see a house.
And really. Therefore, when the central government sends the military there, tanks, lorries, and what have you, choppers, those guys have moved to Samburu. So, why? Because they have nothing to lose. But when you put up schools and then give yourself time, it's a gradual transformation. Imagine if this was done during Moi's era. After today, cattle rustling will be a thing of the past.
You used to sit with the late President Mzee Moi.
Yes.
Discussing how to sort out cattle rustling issues in Baringo.
Yes.
Are those some of the strategies you are giving him as a president at that time?
Of course, those are some of the... No, what do you mean? He was not a president. I was not there when...
He had retired.
He had retired, so he was not a president. Yeah.
So with the ideas that you have, why is the leadership of the day, maybe since 2002 coming up to now, why have they never implemented those thoughts? Because I'm sure you've shared those thoughts.
Let me reserve what I want to say, because it may bring other reactions. But let me tell you. Let me just give you an example of what happened in Laikipia some time ago. We had what we call peace caravan, spearheaded by this lady called Nashula, who is now a member of parliament. And also Mureithi, who is now the governor of Laikipia. And Tuko, who was a PS, and some other guys, and I was also involved. This involved the professionals, the educated people from those communities, Turkana, Pokot, and Samburu. Let me tell you, after that, there has been lasting peace up to today. That was like 2009, 2010. The same can be done to Baringo. And let me tell you, nobody bothers to involve church leaders in these peace initiatives. We only firefight in Baringo. When there's some raid, tunakutana like Mogoria. Who are these that matter? Sasa nyinyi wenyewe mnajiongelesha. Where are those guys? They are far away. They have taken their goats and their cows, and they are not in your meeting. So the thing is, get professionals from TRT, get church leaders from TRT, Get Council of Elders from TRT, let them penetrate, and it should be an ongoing thing, not just firefighting when something has happened. Like now we have relative stability.
Yeah.
And we retreat to our cocoons.
We forget.
We wait until when it strikes again. It should be an ongoing thing, so that in the long run, the culprits would have been identified. And you know, Pokot, my friend, si watu wanakuambia maneno kwa chini ya mti ya baraza. You go to a place, slaughter oxen, yes, spend a whole night there, and by 3 a.m., that's when people will speak, and now speak the truth. That one is not an easy thing. But those are the methods that need to be put in place, alongside now education and evangelization.